and I guess a sub theme, which we talked about in the first episode, also was just showing a different light of of the black experience that I think people don't want displayed because they feel, rather black people don't want displayed because they feel like it's offensive or damaging. I- like I know you said you took offense to some things. Like it's a real experience. These are real characters. These are real stories, right? It's I think it's important. I think it's important to have all type of dynamics. Like I was thinking about Honey Boo Boo Child, and think about all the reality TV that is just that displays all these different type of groups of people and all spectrum of lights, negative, positive, controversial, toxic. Um, so I think again the show was just kind of maybe way, way, way ahead of its time, but also I don't think it would be allowed to exist at any other point in time. Like I think when it came out then, like that was it. I don't think this show would come out now. I don't think people would support it. I don't think people would watch it. Um, because people are respectfully people are just too sensitive and people just want to show off the like going back to the holidays topic, right? People just want to show off one side of themselves. They don't want to show the full multifaceted flaws, good, bad versions of themselves. And that's kind of the decline of society. Everyone's perpetrating a fraud.
Yeah, I hear you. I do think that a show like this uh, is something that has its place somewhere. And we shared it in our previous episode. The show is available. All three seasons is available on Hulu, so you can watch it. Um, but the reason I say it has its place is because I shared it on my social media. I also talked to some people about it. I had a meeting earlier today, and I brought up the episode. And when I said to them the PJs, they had no clue what I was talking about. They were lost. I was like, claymation, animation, 99. They were like, we have no idea what you're talking about. So then I
Were they
pulled up.
black? Were they
They were
Hispanic,
black.
white?
They were
Okay.
black. I pull out my phone. I pull them up on the internet. I slide my phone over. They look at it like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. I watched that show. I love it. I never knew the name was the PJs, and I'm like, okay. And they're like, I love that show. That shit was hilarious. It was great. And in my head, obviously you haven't seen it in 20 years, so maybe you don't remember the name, but it had its place. When I posted it on my social media, everybody was commenting on different episodes, and they were just super excited. Like, man, this show was so funny, and you know, I feel like everything has its place. It was something, especially someone who was a teenager back then. It was something really, really cool. And as an adult, it has its now the undertones of some of the things that they do make sense to me more than what it did back then. So now I see
Right.
it in a different light. So that's why I can say, oh, this feels offensive. But watching it as a 12, 13-year-old kid, I was laughing my ass off. I thought it was the funniest thing ever.
Right.
Uh, and I remember some of the episodes I'm watching now. I remember seeing those episodes when I was younger. So it has its place. I feel like there are platforms out there that it should be on because it does give an authentic light. And the puns are just out of control. Like some of the puns that they'll do it to music, they'll do it to comedy, they do it to movies. They say different things, and it's just funny. But one thing that's constant, and I wrote this down in my notes, is that every time you see Thurgood in Marion's apartment, you see a picture of Martin Luther King on the back wall. Every single time that picture is
Never
there,
noticed that. I never
and
noticed that.
and that's something.
You got a
It,
good eye, man. You catching the nuances, man. I like that. I like that. I like that.
I
Salute,
just
man.
it just kind of comes. I know that we're gonna talk about it, so I pay attention to it even more.